Hello, karibu tena kwenye mafunzo yetu ya programming. Video iliyopita tuliangalia arithmetic operators. Sasa hebu tuone practically how these arithmetic operators work. So first tutaenda kuangalia kwanza namba moja, addition. Then tutaenda kuangalia subtraction. And then we're going to look at division, and we're also going to look at modulus. We're going to look at modulus. So first, addition. When we talk of addition, our interest is maybe adding at least two numbers, right? So the operand that we use is the plus symbol. So suppose I have two integers. Let's say the first one is num1, and this num1 has 100, and the second one is num2, and num2 has the value 25. I have initialized it to 25. So if you want to add these numbers, we would simply say, let's define another variable to store the sum and say integer sum is equal to num1 plus num2. So this is how we may actually use the addition operator. So just whatever you want to add, just put the plus symbol between the first and the second operand. And the first and second operand, they must not be necessarily variables. They could be just literal numbers like this. This one would still work. So let's try printf. The sum is percentage I to output, and then sum. So if I run this one, it says the sum is 911, and we all can see that the value of this is 911, the sum. We can also use variables and say sum is equal to num1 and num2, just like I used before. So by doing this, tayari nakuwa nimeweza kujumlisha namba mbili. Then it says the sum is 125. If I want to add another number, maybe a third number here, I'll just have to define the third number, num3. Maybe this one is 75, right? So if I just add here num3, then I would be adding three numbers. So if I run this, then the sum is 200, and we know it's 200, right? So you could just by adding more operands, you could add several numbers, any amount of numbers that you want. You could just add it like that. Okay, so that is it for addition. Let's come to multiplication. Subtraction. So when we talk of subtraction, our interest is to find the difference between two numbers. So for example, we have num1 here, which is 100, and we have num2, which is 25. So if we want the difference, we would just say integer difference, this is where we store difference, is equal to num1, and then we use the minus symbol, and num2. And let's output the difference and see what value the difference has. What we are expecting is that the difference will hold the value of 75, because 100 minus 25 is 75. So, oh, sorry, I wrote the sum. So let me also change here. The difference is difference. So if we run that, so the difference is 75, and we know that it's true. Okay, so that is for the difference. What about multiplication? In multiplication, we'll just say int product. Of course, the multiplication is product is equal to num1. Let's say we multiply num1, then we put a star num2. So we can just use the operand like so. Num1 times num2. We may even multiply by num3. And then if we output the product, we can see that the product now holds the value 100 times 24 times 25 times 75, which is 187,500. Sawa? Kwa hiyo ndio nini? Ndio product. Hiyo ndio product. The same thing with division. You could say int quotient. Int quotient is equal to dividend, which is, let's say, num1 divided by divisor. Divisor is num2. So if we do that, then we are dividing the first number num1 divided by the first number num2 and returning a result. So the quotient is supposed to be 4. So let's output the quotient so that we can see it. So let's output it. So there we have a quotient. If we run now, the quotient is 4. Actually, the quotient is 4, right? So there you have it. The quotient is 4, right? So now we have done addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now twende kwenye alama ya mwisho ambayo ni modulus. Sasa modulus ni nini? Modulus ni operator ambayo inakurudishia baki. Kwa nikisema if I say int result is equal to num1 modulus, then I have to put a percentage modulus num2. We know num2 is 25, right? So the result will be 0. The result will be 0 because 100 divided by 25 doesn't have any remainder. It is divisible. It is completely divisible by 25. 100 is completely divisible by 25. So let's give the result. So let's write it here, result. Kwa hiyo jibu linalotoka hapa linakuwa ni ile remainder ya zile namba mbili. Kwa hiyo tukichukua 100 tukagawanya na 25, obviously inagawanyika yote. Kwa hiyo hakuna remainder. Kwa hiyo remainder hapa itakuwa 0. Kwa hiyo let's say hapa the remainder is, right? Kwa hiyo hapa jibu itakalotoa ni 0, and we can see here the remainder is 0. But if we just change here and say num1 by num3 kwamba 100 gawanya kwa 75, obviously jibu itakuwa 25. Let's run it. Kwa unaona jibu ni 25. Maana yake 100 gawanya kwa 25 haigawanyiki bila baki. Inabaki 25. Inaingia mara moja na inabaki 25. Kwa ile 25 ndio inakuwa jibu. Sasa je, tunajiuliza hii modulus ina faida gani? Modulus kwenye programming tunatumia mara nyingi kudecide kama kitu fulani kinagawanyika, kama namba fulani inagawanyika na namba fulani. Kwa hiyo kwa mfano let's say tunataka kujua odd numbers separate from even, then we can use the modulus sign. Kwamba kama tutachukua hiyo namba tukamodulus na 2, jibu likitupa 0, basi tunajua hiyo ni even. Na kama tukamodulus namba na 2, jibu lisiwe 0, likawa labda ni 1, tunajua hii ni odd. Kwa hiyo we can use, there are several uses, but that is one of the uses of the modulus symbol. So that is it. We have talked about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. And this is the end of this video. In the next video, we are going to try and check about the logical operators. Thank you and welcome. Stay tuned for the next video.